and that is the issue of free mixing. Free mixing, what does free mixing mean, and what are the things that are allowed in Islam when it comes to gender relations, meaning men dealing with women and women dealing with men, the interaction between us, what is halal and what is haram, how do I know if I've went too far, what is the proof from the Quran and the Sunnah that free mixing in itself is not allowed in Islam, what are some of the examples that we do in our society today that can lead to a lot of harms and a lot of dangers that we might not think of the moment that we begin simply talking with the opposite gender. Sheikh Ibrahim Zidan, Jazakallah khairan for allowing us to speak about this very, very important topic.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most Wise, He created us men and women. And we are not living on the face of earth alone or isolated. Men are in need of women and women are in need of men. And as a result of that, there is relationships and complex relationships and relatives and so on and so forth. And if we look into the relationships or to the free mixing between men and women, it's either men and women that are related, blood related, they mix with each other, which is absolutely fine, it's halal. With the certain levels, of course, husband and wife is a separate case. A woman, for example, with her parents, with her uncles, things like this is definitely permissible for them to interact with one another in the normal way that everybody knows with families and so on. So this is one type that it's okay. This is not what we're dealing with. Also the other extreme, when you have the indecent mixing, where people are committing clearly, openly sins, right? And this is also something that I believe every Muslim would agree that this is not something that is permissible. It's absolutely haram. But there's something in between, where people can free mix, men and women free mixing with each other. They're not blood related, and whether they're in the workplace, in the marketplace, in the schools, you know, things like this. And this is where the real confusion comes up with a lot of Muslims.
That's the gray area.
Right.
We said there's the white and there's the black.
Right.
Now we're talking
and
about
they
the
say,
gray
what's
area.
wrong with that? You know, people studying together or working together, men and women, things like this. So what are the guidelines and what are the rulings? This is what we need to learn and to understand based on the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And it's not based on our desires or what we think or different cultures, right? Some people think or look at it as different cultures would mandate how the relationship would be. This is not the case.
For example, someone would say that in my culture, when me and my wife visit another person and his wife, we can sit together in the same room. But in this other person's culture, it's not allowed. The women sit alone and the men sit alone. So you're saying that there are universal Islamic principles that we should all follow.
Right. And this is why we as Muslims, the thing that governs our life is the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. This is what we need to go back and see what's in the Quran, what's in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and how men and women used to interact at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. So this is what we need to deal with, inshallah.